If you don't take risks and take swings, you can't hit those home runs. And so the more innovative risks that you take in business, the more chance you have for success. And fundamentally, I talk about this in the toy industry. A brand that lasts maybe 3 to 5 years is considered very successful. For Mattel to have brands like Barbie and Hot Wheels who have lasted 65 years and decades, and those are just a couple of the brands that, Fisher Price even longer, is really unique in our industry, and that comes from having a commitment to evolution. If we don't change and modernize the brands, we wouldn't be lasting as long as we do.
Great. You mentioned home runs. Obviously, Barbie movie, undeniably blockbuster hit. Tell me a bit about Mattel's relationship with the film. What was the kind of collaborative dynamic there?
It was very collaborative. Obviously, it was Greta's story to tell. That was from her and from Noah, and with Margot and her production team producing. But we were very collaborative. I had the absolute honor and privilege of taking the filmmakers on deep dives into the Barbie brand. 65 years is a lot of history, and it's a very complex brand with a lot of nuance and chapters in our history. And it was fantastic. I visited the set a couple of times and spent time with not just the filmmakers, but also the other creative counterparts in production, and in particular in costume design, immersing them in Barbie's world. And they just were such amazing, hungry, curious partners. They really wanted to understand not just the brand, but also the brand fans, to make sure that they were served in the film, that if somebody was a fan of Barbie, wasn't a fan of Barbie, knows the history of Barbie better than I do, which there's many avid fans, some of them might be out there watching us right now, who probably know more about Barbie than I even do, that they could delight and see things in the film for them.
Yeah. I think some of the biggest punchlines and laughs from the movie came from really specific details from the doll, obviously the kind of iconic.
If you're just joining, you just missed the part where they talked about the diversity
as an example,
and people buying it. She specifically said, "This is Kim," and she said, "People need to buy it. We need them to buy it, spend money on it, and that's what makes it progress and continue."
The culture at a place like Mattel.
Look, we have a phrase that we use probably on a daily basis. We love to have fun without making fun. There's a very fine line of being able to laugh at yourself and celebrate, some of your hits, some of your misses. Barbie is a brand in particular that doesn't belong necessarily to me, my design team, to the company. It belongs to the world. And people have a deep personal relationship with the brand, and being able to sort of be in on the joke and laugh at ourselves, whether that's at us corporately in that film or with the brand itself, it just makes it more real and enjoyable.
Yeah. The Barbie movie film led to $150 million in sales, nearly 25% increase. What did your team do to make sure that fans of the film converted also into consumers?
It's a lot. It's an ongoing conversation now as we talk about it. We're post Barbie the movie, and what does that mean for our future? So we're actually spending a lot of time talking about that as a team now. But we really did take a franchise approach to the film and the product that we offered, and the way that we allowed our fans, our new fans and our existing fans, to celebrate the film and take the film home with them. And that meant that we worked across category. Obviously, we developed toys. One of them is right here behind me. A couple of them, actually. But we also had experiences and other merchandise. So it really went way beyond my doll design team and into our entire licensing division in partnership with Warner Brothers as well. Especially for adult consumers, which adults are actually the largest growing segment of the population who are buying toys for themselves. Like, we're selling more toys to adults now than we have before. They also want to have other ways of celebrating the things that they're enjoying from a pop culture perspective. So being sure that we're looking at it not just beyond toys, but across the entire portfolio of products in the franchise.
In terms of designing those toys over your shoulder, what's the kind of the relationships in terms of designing dolls and products as kind of thought leadership or kind of introducing new things or responding to cultural trends that you're already seeing in society? What's that kind of back and forth?
Yeah, Barbie, and a lot of the brands that we have, Barbie in particular is both timely, so she's of this moment, and also timeless. And so that intersection is very important for us. We have an amazing consumer insights division that my design team spends a lot of time with both adults and kids, talking about our products, seeing where they are culturally in their families and in their own lives. And we are predictors of the future and really look for the intersection of, there's fads that happen. It takes us a year approximately from ideation to shelf for a lot of the products for us. So hitting a fad is not where it's at for us. Barbie being reflective of where the world is what's most important. And so fast and responsive with a calm sense of urgency.
I saw the documentary.
To get out to the marketplace with what we need, but also being choiceful in where we place the brands that we are guardians of.
That's really well put. You mentioned what a big part of your business is adult toy consumers right now. Why do you think there are so many adults who are going to buy toys right now?
Fun. It is fun, and toys are such an interesting category because they really do, especially doll brands, whether it's Monster High or Barbie or the other doll brands that I oversee, they sit at this really interesting intersection of art, fashion, culture, and product. Especially dolls who represent human.
Oh my God, I just took it off. Hold on, I'm bringing it back.
So we have an opportunity to really play with that canvas in an interesting way. And they really are tiny avatars of ourselves. I also think that as the artistry of toys is being celebrated more culturally, and you're seeing other influencers who love the toy space and are playful in that sense, the popularity increases. I do think, the world is a complicated and at times scary place. And to be able to come together in community, which is something that I believe the Barbie film did really well. It's something that Monster High really has its heart and center, is creating a sense of community. And we are separated as human beings a little bit now. And when we can come together in common interests and with something that's as joyful and playful as toys, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no. I wonder too, there's a lot of talk about the amount of screen time adults and kids are getting these days. Toys by nature are this very physical product. What are you seeing in terms of play trends among children, whether they're playing with kind of virtual toys or games or physical dolls?
Yeah, there's no doubt that virtual experiences, screen experiences, not just on the rise, but are in some way, whether it's a screen or some other virtual experience, it's here to stay. And for me, there is a lot of debate and conversation around the health of this or the appropriateness of it. It's part of our world, undeniably. And I truly look at it as a yes and, not an either or. There are absolute benefits to both experiences, and there are ways to integrate virtual and digital into our analog or traditional toy world in an appropriate and cool way. And so it's something that we've organized our company around, and it's something that's very important for us. I don't think you can really talk about one without the other, in the sense of, yes, they can have their own verticals, but the integration, they're interdependent, and I think that makes them ultimately more interesting. So we're spending a lot of time in observation right now because we're at such a point of rapid evolution into how children and families are experiencing entertainment time. And what does that mean? Even beyond screens and analog toys, there's experiences. We spent almost 3 years separated and in our homes, and now the craving for getting out into the world and having experiences together with live entertainment that is attached to the brands that we have affection for already. And that ecosystem of experience and product, both virtual and tangible and physical, is a really interesting space to play in right now.
No, definitely.
And when you spoke earlier about kind of diversifying the Barbie brand, it seems like a big part of that was also just showing dolls that were these more diverse real life leaders, whether it's, real trans women in real life or real athletes in real life. Can you speak a little bit to what is the strategy in terms of which role models are picked to be shown as a Barbie?
Oh, we have a long list of people that we are in conversations with over extended periods of time. And sometimes people don't necessarily want to be a doll. So it's not just about us choosing them, but them choosing us. And our intention around that
Madonna does not want to be a doll.
Is that if you can see it, you can be it. And amplifying the stories of people who are living Barbie's values of inclusivity and achievement and breaking ceilings and getting into places where women and other minority groups are not represented. That's important. And telling those stories so that people, one, can celebrate them, and two, kids can see them, it makes a difference in inspiring the next generation to be the absolute best that they can be and to live in their highest level of possibility. And that ultimately, Barbie is a tool for dreaming. It's a tool for storytelling and for writing your own story as a kid when, you don't have a lot of agency and you're discovering who you are, and seeing examples of other people who are living that is something that we as a doll organization want to celebrate, whether it's Monster High or Barbie.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that relates to a question that is so central to Fast Company Queer 50. The idea that a doll might reflect a queer person who exists in real life is even in my life a relatively new phenomenon. I think there are a lot of people who, when I was growing up, who would have said, "Oh, that's not something that kids should be thinking about or should be seeing or playing with." But can you just speak a little bit to why it's important for kids to see queer representation in the toys that they use?
Yeah, because there are kids who are going to grow up discover that they are queer, and seeing themselves, versions of themselves represented are important. It's very simple. Everyone deserves to see themselves reflected in the toys that they play with. We repeat it over and over again, and it sounds very simple, but unfortunately, there are situations where that isn't always welcomed, but that's part of our values as an organization, and we believe that everyone deserves to play.
Yeah. A pretty simple mission, but still unfortunately rare one. I want to hear about the other brands that you're excited about at Mattel. You mentioned Monster High, American Girl. Can you speak to which parts of the business you're really excited about right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited about all of it. Monster High is very near and dear to my heart, as Mama Roo is over my shoulder here. The messaging and the purpose behind each one of our brands is what gets me out of bed every day to come to work, and it feels like such a privilege to be able to create these objects of wonder and fun, but that also are supported by real purpose. Monster High's position around kindness and inclusion is incredible. American Girl, as we're developing girls of character and telling stories about history, that's the newest brand that I've just assumed creative responsibility for. So I'm just getting started. I just was given the opportunity to work on American Girl the middle of last year, August. And so I'm just beginning to dive in, but there'll be a lot of new and exciting things coming for us, including more opportunities for films and content to be developed beyond the toys themselves.
Interesting. Are you able to share more about that? Are we going to be Barbie level American Girl production
that I could share? You could Google for sure, but we're in the process of working on films and content for many of our brands.
A very respectful answer with all respect. But I am fascinated with American Girl because, similar to how you spoke about, really looking in the mirror of the Barbie brand, the American Girl brand is looking back at, American history, which can be sometimes really painful and difficult and cover topics that, like racism that can be, challenging for a company to address.
How do you guys think about that at a place like Mattel?
We, much like I talked about what we've done for Barbie when we went on those journeys, we do spend a lot of time in self-analysis. And, you can look back at particular things that Barbie has done or other brands have done in judgment, or you can say when you know better, you do better. And I think that looking at all of our brands through that lens is part of our creative process and our brand development process. So as the world changes, we will evolve as well and always have our eye to the.
Speaking of the future, we talked a little bit about, virtual screenplay, in-person play, but
what do you think are some of the big trends of the future of play?
I mean, I definitely think that the integration of virtual and physical play is going to be critical. What role will AI play in how we develop toys ourselves, how we use those tools, and where they will push us beyond our own imagination of possibility for what toys are and how they will be created? When will our society in general develop a comfort level? And then when will that be a comfort level for parents and children? We are definitely in experimentation and observation mode in those places, but those are things that I'm really excited about. And really, I get the most excited about regular analog dolls and who we'll partner with next, and what I will wake up one morning and sort of, won't say be bored with, but be done with, that I loved the day before, and what's going to replace it. We do not, we celebrate ourselves, but we're always, judging our last efforts and looking to how we can be better in the future.
Some of the, this is probably has more to do with me than anybody else, but some of the things that I've been most excited to see is some of the athletes that Mattel has made dolls of. It does seem like women's sports specifically is having a really big cultural conversation moment right now. Can you speak, it from the outside, it seems like Mattel is investing heavily in that space and really kind of leaning in.
Why is that, a story that Mattel feels like they should be a part of?
Well, in particular for Barbie, as you touched on, women's sports is having a moment right now. If I'm watching basketball, I know for sure that something's going on culturally. And my fiance, she can watch it all day long. Me now, and I'm so in. Like Caitlin and Angel had me like fixated on basketball. But fundamentally, we know that the level of confidence in particular that girls build when they participate in sports and when they're invited to participate, and the leadership skills that you learn, the achievement that you have. And, there's an equity issue going on right now for women in sports, and Barbie needs to be part of that conversation. So much like when we were talking about the Inspiring Women dolls, elevating those stories and exposing those stories even further, as well as celebrating those athletes and their achievements, sits right at the center of what Barbie is about. I'm excited that we're a part of it.
Yeah. With the last few minutes we've been getting a bunch of comments. Some of the biggest requests I've been seeing have been F1 related dolls. Is that?
You never know. Listen, anything's possible on Barbie. You never know.
Great. There also seems to be someone who keeps asking for a Sandra Bullock
I
doll.
Noticed that in the chat. I don't know that we've ever spoken to Sandra Bullock, but again, we can add her to the list.
Great. Well, my last kind of big question for you then is, you mentioned this mission of if you see it, you can believe it. And it does feel like with whether it's women athletes or elsewhere, there is this kind of spiral effect, a flywheel effect, in which, there's this new groundbreaking woman who does something great, and then there's a doll of it and girls can see it, and then maybe we get more people. But what are the kind of stories that you're hearing about Barbie consumers or just Mattel consumers in general about how it ends up shaping that child's life in the future?
It is the most heartwarming part of my job. Whether it's from an Inspiring Woman doll or from a very core, basic $10 fashionista doll that happens to have a hair texture or a skin color or an ability difference that this kid or parent has never seen in a doll before. It is a life-changing experience to have the validation of a brand like Barbie put you at the center of what they're executing. I have phone calls and letters and emails from people whose lives are transformed and really touched by that experience, and the gratitude that I get to have the benefit of receiving on behalf of these incredible teams. I am just one person who gets to sit in this seat and talk to you, but everything that we do is from these incredible, dedicated, passionate designers and toy developers and marketers in this building. It is why we do what we do. And you can talk about the amazing numbers that we make, talk about the financial success of the organization. When you touch one life on a personal level, that is what it's all about. And so it's the center of what makes me really happy and feel very lucky to have this job.
I know I've heard you describe yourself as you were an equal opportunity toy player growing up. But if you could go back and speak to that younger version of yourself and tell you that you might one day have what you just described as a dream job, what would you tell that kid?
Oh my gosh, I'd be like, just relax. Like, don't stress out. Don't stress out. And all your time as an only child that you spent, playing with Barbie and with, my mom and my cousins and friends, it's not time wasted. Time spent playing with your kids with dolls and other toys is investing in the future of who they can become. I no doubt you will discover more about who they are through that process. So I would say you got it, and it's going to be a ball. So don't worry.
Beautiful advice. Thank you so much, Kim, for your time. Thank you so much for being a part of the
Queer 50. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and have a great day.
Thanks for the honor. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Okay. That's quite interesting, because I did not plan on starting this video conversation with them actually touching base on that. But in the very beginning, before I could get my live going the way it should, before I could even get this, they were talking about diversity, all of the things which people are talking about now. But the thing is, people have always been talking about diversity with American Girl. That was Kim. I met her last year. I had a photo with her from Barbie Convention. So, she is one of the head people in the department when it comes to dolls, Barbie, and all of it. She's one of the big people up there. She's very sweet. She was very kind. But aside from all of that, when we look at American Girl brand, this is the thing. They have done everything possibly can. I was reading the comment section here, and Tin Man Lover 1994. You're very right. You're very accurate. You're on top of your game. You are definitely, from what I can tell, an American Girl doll collector / fan. And exactly. American Girl has always had inclusivity and diversity in their brand. It's not something new. It's not something that they just came out with, or it just happened. It's always been a part of the brand. So, the thing is that, are people going to buy it? Are people going to buy it? And I say that because I remember for years, people wanted an African American Girl of the Year. People wanted an Asian American Girl of the Year. And let me think. I remember the backlash when American Girl started retiring the best friend collection, basically letting all the best friends, boom, retire, like Ruthie and it was Ruthie, then Cecile Marie Grace and Caroline. They were saying that these dolls are not performing well. People have been wanting a new face mold, a new face sculpt to be put into the American Girl line, and they gave us Marie Grace. I loved it. I welcomed the new look, the new face. I'm very open-minded when it comes to dolls, skin tones, facial sculpts, things like that. I'm looking up something. Because I'm going to go back in time. Not really, but I mean, speaking wise, conversation wise. Let me see. I'm looking at every girl of the year. And Joss was 2006. I was not into American Girl at that time. I wasn't into American Girl until 2009/10. I did not. It was they did Krissa, Gwen, and Sonali. I remember them. I didn't get any of them, but I remember that the Girl of the Year was Krissa, and it dealt with bullying at school. And they also did her two friends. Gwen, there was a lot of controversy because Gwen was homeless. And I remember that being in a discussion issue. Then there was Sonali. And then 2010, Lainey came out. I remember getting Lainey. And what really, boom, made me pop in was Kanani. Oh my God, I loved Hawaii, the tropical aspect. I love islandy, stuff like that. And Kanani, I talked about this last night when I was painting this doll right here. I was painting her. And I talked about Kanani. Kanani sold out, I believe, in October. She sold out online. It was the first American Girl doll I ever sold out. But all the American Girl dolls used to sell out by the end of the year or close enough. But when I look at all of the Girl of the Years, they were all pretty different, but people were complaining. I remember back in the day about them being a ballerina, about them being blonde, but then yet I'm looking at their images, and as you can see, all of these girls, none of them resemble. They did try. They were giving us diversity, but yet we did not have an African American Girl of the Year until Gabrielle, or is it Gabriella? So with me, I never keep up with names. I'm a doll artist, but I would hear and read and see videos of things. But me personally, I mean, Marisol was from 2005. Marisol was a Latina. She was Hispanic. Like the name Marisol. I have a friend. She has a daughter named Marisol. And Marisol is a Latina. And she was out in 2005. Jess, sorry, I got things confused with Joss. I meant Jess came along 2006. Jess was the face mold, they did use it with Kanani, made it more what we call thin, medium skin tone. And, Jess, I do not know her backstory. I don't have her. I have Nikki the doll, got off eBay, but not with her book. So I never really read the books until Cecilia Marie Grace. When Cecilia Marie Grace came out, I was very excited because you had a Caucasian girl, you had African American girl character, dolls, and they were best friends. And that's how I grew up. My best friend was African American, and so to me it was more personal, like, oh wow, this can represent me and my best friends, and so that's how I saw it. And so I bought the entire the book set. I got everything in Cecilia Marie Grace, their outfits, except for Cecile's yellow outfit. I remember it felt like plastic or something. Ugh. I touched it in the store and walked away. But yeah, when Isabel come along, I remember in 2014 when Isabel come along, she did good in the beginning when she first got released, but people were complaining. Because McKenna was a dancer, ballerina, or gymnast. She was a gymnast. That was the first American Girl doll my mom ever got me. Then I remember Sage. Sage loved horses. So it was a pattern beginning. So when Isabel came out, she was, into dancing. And then people were getting the girl of the year, being a dancer, a ballerina, being into horses. But then people were also wanting an African American girl of the year. They wanted a real Asian American girl of the year. They gave us that. They gave us Zen. They gave us Gabriella. Let me double check that because it's Gabriella, and with me, I'm always getting things a little twisted. So blame my brain, not my heart. It's just that, and I have the dolls. Also, another thing is that, you know, American Girl also gave us the dolls, World Like Us. Yeah, a lot of people did Pleasant Company. Hi, Pabu. How are you doing, sweetheart? We've been friends for years. We go back in the Barbie community. World by Us. So, Mattel gave us a specific $3 line of World by Us. So, we had her. Okay, great. You don't want to, there it is. We also had a Latina Hispanic doll in this line, and we also had a doll who was biracial. Guess what? The dolls ended up on clearance. Yvette, which I have two. One I made over to put for sale. And then we had, so who else? Maritza. That's it. It was Maritza. She was the Latina. Yvette was biracial, and this doll was, what was her name? Was it Makina? But anyway, as time progressed, we ended up with a Girl of the Year from India, which was Kavi. Then we got a different racial sculpt, and that was with Corinne. Gave us more true to the sculpt of being an Asian American. And she's the latest past several Girl of the Years. When American Girl has given us diversity, whether the dolls were, they made them biracial, they made them African American. We've had Girl of the Year of pretty much every skin tone you can imagine. Busy! Oh my God. Her and my brother had a very good conversation earlier, and it wasn't good. That's my friend Shirley, who got me into American Girl. So when Cecilia Marie Grace came out, I'm showing you so you can see her image up here. When American Girl came out, I had done her hair there. We were so happy and thrilled about Cecilia Marie Grace, but shocked when they retired just 2 years after, because there were several dolls who retired, and it was a lot of backlash about, why are you retiring the more ethnic dolls? Why are you retiring? You don't have enough ethnicities as it is. I remember people got angry with them retiring the friends, Julie's friend. She was Asian American. So with that being said, and those dolls being retired, the thing is this, like she was saying, like Kim from Kim from Mattel was saying, if you don't buy it, you have to buy it. You have to purchase it, put your money into it and buy it, or else, we're going to do something else. So that's what they're doing now. They're using different strategies, because their investors have a part in with what they do. And right now, Mattel's investors have told them to sell the American Girl brand, get rid of it. It's not making money, it's losing money. And so that's why Mattel is now going through this period where they've moved the headquarters to Mattel for American Girl. And the bottom line is this: if American Girl cannot improve, they will sell the brand off. They don't want to, they're trying to save it. But they've given you, all of us, they've given us diversity in the dolls and their stories. Kira got backlash because her mother was her in the storyline. Kira's mother, or her aunt, it was gay and was getting married to her girlfriend, and people had a lot to say about that. They had a lot of issues with that. I have the doll, Kira, but I did not read her book. I have a book somewhere, but I don't really read a lot of the stories. The really has to capture my attention in a certain aspect or way to really draw me in to read her story. I've read the story of Caroline. I've read the story of Cecile and Marie Grace. And Corinne. I loved Corinne. I still, I love the mountains, the ice, the snow. Her story is good. The bottom line is Mattel has really paid attention at American Girl. They've given us diversity, but the thing is, the more diversity they've given us, the more their sales have dropped. That's the bottom line. A toy company is about making money. A toy company is a business. They are not in the business to give you what you want, and then yet the majority rules where you're not buying it. If they're giving you the diversity and you're not putting your money where your mouth is, or you're typing, where your opinion's at, or what you have to say about it. If you're not going to buy the dolls that they give you in diversity that you've been asking for a long time, and you don't buy them, well, they're going to go back to what makes money. I was very shocked to find out that the new Girl of the Year for 2025 is actually coming out in September this year. I'm in shock about this because of all the years that I've been doing American Girl. American Girl always came out January 1st, so a lot of people of all ages, well, like she just said in the interview, since the pandemic, the majority of their toy sales are coming from adults who play with dolls. They're now acknowledging the fact that, and they acknowledge this, they saw this at Barbie convention. They all met me for the very first time, and I talked with her one-on-one with her. I did not know who she was, what she did with the company, nothing like that. But I talked with Kim, I talked with all of the designers directly. I was explaining to her, really got me through a lot of times dealing with anxiety or panic. I take Barbie everywhere. I take American Girl with me. They saw this. They're seeing this. They're really paying attention to the number of people, the adults who are actually wearing Barbie branded clothing and the brand, and they're carrying dolls around from their childhood and etc. So they witnessed this and they've been seeing this, but this time at Barbie convention, more people from Mattel came more than usual, because it's like she just said in that interview that was live on Instagram. They're still observing, they're paying attention, they're watching, they're looking on social media, they're watching people like me who do YouTube and what it is we collect, what do we have in our collection, what are we playing with. Me, I am a Mattel girl. I am all about American Girl and Barbie all day long. I know about dolls and inclusivity and diversity, like with VIE. VIE is a smaller toy company, but each and every one of their dolls is of a different ethnicity. That was one thing I loved about the owner, Ellen. I loved about her vision, and that was, she's thinking outside the box with the dolls that she designs and does. She has them hand sculpted at the real life models, children models. That's why the dolls' expressions are not like your typical, doll where, whereas Superstar Barbie has a smiley face like this. Ellen's not trying to give you that type of aesthetic. She's trying to give you realism when it comes to designing and developing a doll that's going to be good for children. She wants children to be able to look at the doll and see their self or their friend or someone they know. That's why VIE, their dolls are they're hand sculpted from different children models to give you more realism. She's not trying to appease, appeal, I mean, not appeal, but appease to give, people the vanity or the beauty or this and that. She's trying to give you realism with her product. She produces dolls that have educational value so that children can look at the dolls and they can see, again, themselves or their friends, someone at school, so the dolls that she has developed have quirky little smiles and things like that, like a real person, like a real little kid would have, That's why noses look different, and the mouths and the chin and the eye shapes. These are hand sculpted out of clay and created from real life children. That is why they look the way they do. That is why they're authentic. It's to reflect on real people. And the limited edition. The dolls are limited editions to like 300. I mean, and for the price point of what you get is a hand sculpted design type doll with these incredible realistic features, and limited edition to $300 basically. Oh my God, that's a steal. You're getting a great deal for that and for the educational value that her products possess. And then, whereas looking at American Girl, here we go again. Someone's commenting about, no, God, please don't let the Girl of the Year have the Josefina face mold. So Josefina, Julie, Rebecca, all of them have the same face mold, just a different skin tone. That's it. Different skin color, different eye color. And we've gotten, Lila also has the same face mold. So who else in the Girl of the Year line? Oh my God. The thing is, the classic face mold, the Josefina face mold, these are face molds that have been, God, used so much, it's like been running the ground. I thought Kavi was cute. I love the fact that she had the Marie Grace face mold. But the thing is that we live in a world where the majority of people have lighter skin. We live in a world where people of different ethnicities or more minority they're less of. You can Google this on your phone about that, and it tells you the percentage of nationality on a global standpoint. Yeah, because most of even the historicals, I think the one that brings in so much more of a fresh air that's fresh is Nanea. Nanea's face sculpt, it's beautiful. It fits right in. It's such a beautiful face sculpt, and that's the face sculpt of this doll that I made over last night. Also, Claudie, look at that. We got another historical African American doll. And what has happened? Now she's on clearance. So those of us in the American Girl doll world, we know what happens when American Girl starts putting a doll on clearance, or a lot of their stuff. They're getting ready to retire her. She's out. She's out the door. She's not working. She's not bringing in revenue. She's not popular. It's not happening, so they're letting her go. The good thing is Melody apparently is doing well, but Melody has a popular face, which is the same face sculpt, I believe, as Sonali. And see, I was not in the American Girl. I didn't start off as a collector with American Girl. I started off with American Girl as a repaint doll artist, and then I became a collector. And then I started getting the books, the encyclopedias on the history of the American Girl dolls. But I was also learning from other people. There were very few people. I could count them on one hand, basically probably 3 or 4 people who were, back when I started my YouTube channel, knew everything about American Girl dolls. They would post everything. But it all boils down to the fact that if you're not going to buy it, then they're not going to make it. They're not going to continue creating it. It will get cut out of the line. So like right now, where they're bringing back the original historical dolls, such as Felicity. We have Kirsten back. Kirsten has been in demand for years, and now we got her back. Samantha, but in her original outfit, and outfit, Josefina, her original outfit, and also Molly. All of those are coming back. The original ones at like $150, I think. Oh, there we are. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, even Tenny, I was very shocked about Tenny not doing well. But then again, when Tenny came out, people complained she was a blonde. So, all right, camera, I need you to focus. There. And I remember people complained about her packaging, Gabrielle's packaging. I thought it was cute. I thought it was compact, and I thought it was unique. So I was, me personally, I was fine with it. Then they revamped the historical line to be Forever, and to give it a more modern twist to get sales up. But I'm gonna have to redo the title of this live.
Discover more about who they are through the process. So I would say like you got it, and it's going to be a ball. So don't worry.
So now it's on replay again.
Thank you so much, Kim, for your time. Thank you so much for being a part of the queer.
So yeah, but the thing is that mostly Dallas.com made a post. Oh my God, look at that wig. There you go. There's a perfect doll wig for your Julie dolls. Oh my gosh. Paris, if you see this, get that for your doll, girl. She's gonna look good. But yes, American Girl has been really focused on doing diversity in their lines. It's up to you, the consumer, whether you buy it or not. I'm reading comments. Exactly. You have to buy, as Amber is saying, if people want certain dolls, you need to buy them to show that those type of dolls are going to sell. If you're waiting for a doll to go on clearance, what you don't understand is that when you do that, waiting for a doll to go on clearance, you're waiting for her to be where she's not going to matter, and they're not going to continue doing it. And that's what they're doing. Kim has addressed that. She addressed that in that live video with Barbie, that they're doing inclusivity. They're doing more dolls now than ever. Now they're really focusing and paying attention on what the consumer is purchasing. So they're paying attention. Are you waiting for the dolls of color or diversity to be on a clearance price before you pay for them, before you buy them? Because if you do, that's not going to work. That's not going to keep the dolls standing. That's not going to keep the brand going with that direction. Right now, they're working on a lot of things. They're working on changes to American Girl, with the sales dropping so much over this years. I mean, like I said, they got to make their investors happy as well. And the investors are encouraging them to sell the brand American Girl, to get rid of it. And Mattel is trying not to do that. But then yet, they're giving you the diversity with all these Girl of the Year dolls, and you're still not buying them. Therefore, stop complaining about it. If you're not going to do nothing but sit and complain and you're not buying it, I buy them. I have American Girl dolls of every skin color they've ever done, every hair texture, eye color, all of it. I have all of them. I've had 2,000 American Girl dolls in the past 10 years. Yes, I've had that many American Girl dolls. But the thing is that I made them over and I would sell them, make them over and sell them, make them over and sell them. When I was getting ready to move or things like that, for whatever reason, I listed them on eBay, I sold them. I call it sometimes recycling. You know, I would make them over and sell them. And that's just what I do as a doll artist. Now, yes, there are some that are dear to me that I will keep forever and not well until I'm dead. And of course, I mean, here is, I keep Marie Grace. This one I've kept in the box. I thought she was beautiful. I've been happy to see her face back in the American Girl line and back in the Truly Me section. So I love it and I got them. So I'm very happy about that. I was very happy to see her return. But the thing is, even with Barbie, right now, like she said, they're in a very strong observation point. They're observing everything. They're observing what people like me buy and play with. Because they know, they now have acknowledged that they understand that there are more adults playing with dolls than there are children and buying them. So that's in the video in the beginning. That's in that live that she did. And that's what they're watching to see what it is that the people who are actually going to spend their money on the dolls, what is it they want? Easy. We want more reproduction Barbie dolls. We want gift sets of reproduction Barbie dolls. For example, oh my gosh. Oh my God. And then my brain just went blip. People are into the 80s. They want Crystal Barbie and Ken together. In fact, what would even make that work even more is if they did it in African American and Caucasian. In other words, a reproduction of the African American Crystal Barbie with Crystal Ken. The African American one, he had a painted afro. I have him. Then Caucasian Crystal Barbie with Crystal Ken, Caucasian couple. So you do a 2-doll set, African American and Caucasian. I know they will sell. People will buy them. Peaches and Cream. People cannot get enough of her. The reproduction is now selling for as much as the original one. We need another Peaches and Cream. The Caucasian and African American. We really do. And perhaps with popular 80s fashions. Oh my God, if Mattel really wanted to get happy and really give us a cool gift set, an entire reproduction of Barbie and the Rockers, but the entire doll collection in one big gift set. Oh my God, that would be amazing. You know what I mean? That would be absolutely, oh my God, I'm there for it. I'm there for it. Last night, me and Amber and Crystal, all of us were talking about the Barbie dolls. Oh gosh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this in the video right now. All right. We will not see any reproduction or a newer version of any of the Barbie dolls from any of the princess movies. I was informed by the designer himself who designed The Princess and the Pauper. And I said, I think we need a reproduction of these dolls. I know my hair looks lighter. I used a that shampoo, clarifying, ultra clarifying, and it stripped my hair of the color that was in it. So I asked him about reproduction Barbie dolls of The Princess and the Pauper. He responded to me privately. He told me that we will not be able to get reproduction Princess Barbie dolls because of the contract with Disney. So, there you go. That is why we are not seeing princess related Barbie dolls. We will not be seeing new versions of Barbie dolls from previous princess movies because of the contract with Disney. And I heard that directly from the designer of some of those Barbie dolls, including Jewel. Jewel Girl was not a princess, but that would be cool. But they're trying to really, I think they're focusing on a lot of 80s Barbies. People are really after the 80s Barbies. They're highly collectible and sought after at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of graphics with Crystal Barbie lately and Great Shape Barbie. Also, those spongy Mattel's version of a Squishmallow Barbie, like African American Peaches and Cream. I think it would be, oh my God, could you imagine a reproduction 3-pack of African American Crystal Barbie, Peaches and Cream, and Black Barbie? If not Black Barbie, or Great Shape, or Day to Night. Oh my God. A gift set with those 3 dolls together, people would eat that up. But they would make more money selling them individually. I'm thinking it's possible we can see a reproduction of a Crystal Barbie. Yeah, I know that we are getting the reproduction of Golden Dreams Christie the spring of next year. I know that for a fact. And you can see that online. Fairytopia Fashion Fever. Fairytopia. Well, right now I think Dreamtopia is taking over the Fairytopia because Tinkerbell is a fairy, even though Mattel is not producing a Tinkerbell doll. It would be. Oh, we are getting a 3 reproduction of My Scene. I think it would be an amazing. I think if Mattel would take Barbie, the play line Barbie and sort of collector dolls, if they would go in the line of clothing and style of My Scene, Fashion Fever, and like Cali Girl, the first Cali Girl line. That would be awesome. That would be cute because the Cali Girl line, that very first Cali Girl Barbie line, those dolls dress just like we do. The fashions and everything, the red Jeep. That's what we need. We need it to look more real. Get rid of all the bubblegum colors. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids are not playing Barbie. They're all in their phone. The grown-ups want to play with it. So, it's quite simple. Easy. We go back to jeans. Barbie wearing jeans, a jean skirt, boots, cute shoes. This dress was on a collector doll. The Barbie doll is gorgeous, and she's got the freckles. We're getting diversity, and that's the thing. If you're not going to buy it, they're not going to keep making it. Look, Jewel's Secrets Whitney. Oh my God, I still hear people talking about what I did at the Barbie fashion show. I looked fat up on that stage from that angle. Now, the images I've seen of me that were taking the professional images, I looked my normal size because I had lost weight. But the images that all I saw was cakes, and I looked thick up there from that angle, Lord. And then it's like photos I saw with other people, at a normal angle, I looked my normal size. Shall we do my curvy? No. I saw. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't get washed. Sorry, apologize. Her and my brother had a moment this morning. So no, the angle, I'm oh god, not a good angle. Cause the cameras, the ones that I had, they were going upward, and when the camera is going upward, everything. Okay, if I lean back like this, you see, it makes it look bigger. I lean forward like this, it makes you look slimmer. I know how the camera works, and so yeah, that's how it is. If the camera is coming upward, it's gonna make you look bigger. Everything on your body is gonna look bigger. Your butt, your boobs, everything is gonna look bigger from that up angle. But yes, and like this Barbie is my newest one. I do not know what nationality she is, nor do I care. I just know my mom got her for me, and she's gorgeous. Um, but I mean, I feel like if they were going to do a reproduction, like for example, Jewel's Secrets Whitney, I'm like this. I want a gift set of Jewel's Secrets Barbie, Whitney, and Ken. You know what I'm saying? I would love that. And have the packaging um, updated with the sparkly look. Now, when I say sparkle, giving the illusion of like a flat, like a diamond thing. But also use graphics from that era or some updated version of the graphic that was used on the original. Um, So yeah, I say if you're gonna do, yes, I would love Joe Secret's Whitney reproduction, but also I want Joe Secret's Barbie and Ken mixed in with it. Now, that being said, I think it would look great to also have two different sets. You got the Caucasian blonde Jewel Secrets, Barbie, Ken, and Whitney, but then you also have a reproduction of the African American Jewel Secrets, Barbie, and Ken, and Jewel Secrets Whitney as well. All three of them together and separate. You know what I mean? We'll get a Caucasian version, and we also get the African American versions. I think that would be wonderful. They never did a reproduction of um, they never did a reproduction of Crystal Barbie yet. I believe they are going to. I believe she's coming next year. 1980 Superstar Barbie. I don't see that one happening anytime soon. 88 Superstar. I don't see that. Do I miss Fashion Avenue packs? I don't remember them. I don't. I hear people talk about that, but I do not remember them. When I think of Barbie fashion packs, I'm thinking that I remember Barbie Fashion Fever. That was what I bought. That was what I got. I got the Barbie fashion packs, separates, Mycene, the separates. I remember Target had it, like the doll, and then stuff like that. Oh God, yes, definitely a different reproduction of Totally Hair Barbie. But I think that we need Caucasian and they did the blonde, but the brunette was equally popular, and African American was so popular we don't even see her hardly. When it comes to reproducing, the thing is, it doesn't cost any more than it done before, probably a few cents more. I personally feel that I would like to have proper reproduction of all three versions. I want the blonde, brunette, and African American. African American dolls sell more now. They sell better now because people of all different skin tones are collecting Barbies. They're not seeing the skin color. They're seeing beauty in every color. That's how I grew up. I saw beauty in every doll color. And so I look forward to seeing things like this. I wish we had a line, a bigger expansion of reproduction Barbie dolls, definitely. Um, or even, let's say we get a, what was the Margot Robbie typical Barbie? I think it would be wonderful if there was a line. We had a superstar face Barbie doll like in her original body, but they need to make it slimmer because the original Superstar Barbie body was a bit slender than the ones that came out produced in the 90s and stuff. And I like these feet so much better. This is Dream Date Barbie. Yeah, dressed in gold. And this is Peaches and Cream, dressed in this fashion. I got both of these. I got so many Barbies at Barbie Convention last year. Yeah, I got that Peaches and Cream. Look at the hair, it's gorgeous. I got her for $2 or $3 at Barbie Convention. She looks brand new, even the outfit. So I was very, very happy. That's the biggest thing I can say I loved about Barbie Convention was getting a lot of those older Barbies, but we did need reproductions. But touching back on base, what the title of this is, because I want to redo it. Mattel has been giving us diversity. They've given us the BMR, the BMR 1959 line. They gave us, they've given us diversity. Even Laverne Cox Barbie doll. They gave us the Ken. Remember the Ken with the makeup, the drag makeup that was designed by Carlisle. So Mattel has always been giving us diversity. The thing is, whether everyone is ready to jump on that boat or not. The thing is, you have a choice. Sew in Style was incredible. But again, it's about sales. All right, I'm gonna go because I'm going to contact Paris. So yeah, and speak with my mom. So anyway, the thing is this: if you are requesting diversity of this and that, skin tone or whatever, you have to buy it. If you don't buy it, they're not going to keep producing it. It's a business. Making dolls, that is a business, not only for Mattel, but for MGA Entertainment. It is with Fisher Price, all of these other toy brands. It is a business. And if you are not going to be buying the diversity or all of that, then don't expect them to keep producing it because they won't. They'll leave it for a while and go back to a little bit of what it used to be. But they're going to go with what sells. So think about that. In the meantime, have a good evening.